Baltimore in round 9 gave us great action in racing and freestyle, but it also gave us our first World Finals Qualifiers. Tonight we're in Kansas City for the finale of the Biggest and Baddest tour. We're finishing the season strong with this venue debut, looking for 3 final qualifiers. Who can work their way to the top and who's done for the season. This is the Rorsrps semi-realistic point series, and this is Monster Jam! Hello everybody and welcome back to the Rorsrps channel. My name is Preston Vieira and I'll be your host as the Biggest and Baddest tour stops in Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Not only closing out season 2 for the tour, but we'll be rounding out our World Finals 2 qualifiers from this tour tonight, finalizing 3 more trucks into the main field after tonight's freestyle. Remember, Rorsrps World Finals 2 is November 29th through December 1st this year, and we're going to pack the house in Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas to find our Dubby World Champions. Head over to rorsrps.com to hear more about it and our qualifiers after the show, and check out our official merch. Soon we'll have 50 very limited supply t-shirts for the World Finals as well. Stay tuned. But for now, let's check out our racing bracket for tonight's competition. Kicking off the racing competition, it's going to be Josh Tonkin in Son of a Digger, your tour leader right now, taking on Noah Brady in Gunslinger. Aiden Wegner in Gravedigger is going to come out next, facing off against Mark Culinary in Working Class. Then it's Alfredo Moya in Dragon, facing off against Bryce Egan in War Machine. Tevin Maxwell in Team Meents is going to take on Drew Austin in Bob and Tom, followed by Craig Parsons in Velociraptor, facing off against Pro Bowler 278 in Predator. Chad Tingler in Venom is going to take on Kathy Winston in Team Suzuki. Then we got Ewan Ford in Soldier Fortune Black Ops taking on our sub, making his debut for the night, Extreme Attitude, Travis Mowry. Then we got Cameron Landry closing out round 1 in Lucas Oil Crusader, facing off against Joe Dennis in Spider-Man Miles Morales. Here's the thing about Extreme Attitude, he will not be making it into the World Finals main field. We already locked in Chris Kohler in Monster Mutt as the sub qualifier. 63 is going to be hard to beat when a Dubby double down will only give you 41 points. This is the last show of the season. He's not going to get a chance to make more points up even if he takes a win, and technically would earn a second show. He needs enough points to get him into the last chance qualifier though. We'll see if that can happen for him, but here come your first 2 opponents onto the track. Josh Tonkin, Son of a Digger, your tour leader right now. On your right, he's going to be facing off against Noah Brady in Gunslinger. Definitely seems like a predictable matchup, but we've seen a lot of crazy upsets this season. Even just last show in Tacoma, Washington on the All-Star Challenge Tour, we saw a few upsets over there. Here tonight, it could happen again here in round 1, but safe bet, obviously, Josh Tonkin, 3-time Dubby racing champion on this tour. We'll see if he can make it 4 here tonight. We're staged, ready to go, and we are green. Launching over the jump for the first time. We got an over-under style track here yet again. Getting our first look at it right there. Josh Tonkin going over Noah Brady in Gunslinger. We'll see who can come out on top. Noah Brady with a big wide turn there in that first switchback. We'll see if he can keep it going. Potentially holding the lead that he has. I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens here. Josh Tonkin looks like he might be struggling a little bit through that under turn. Is he going to be able to hold a lead here? He is. Over the line we go. It's going to be Josh Tonkin and Son of a Digger, but Noah Brady making up a little bit of ground there in the air. Obviously, Josh Tonkin, Son of a Digger, on to round 2. No contest there, but Noah Brady, a solid effort here in round 1, was actually not too far behind, and that's what I'm saying. This could be a track where we see more upsets like we saw last show. Long show ahead of us. We'll see if it'll happen. Aiden Wegner in Gravedigger coming out next on your right, taking on Mark Culinary in Working Class. Mark Culinary, our 3rd World Finals qualifier from this tour so far. There will be more later on tonight, but between the 2, Working Class is in already. Aiden Wegner still fighting for that spot. He is in World Finals qualifier territory right now. We'll see if he can hold that until the end of the show. He needs the points to back him up, especially with such a big points fight between 4th and 8th. So we'll see what happens here as we head into our first turn. Looking close here. Aiden Wegner may have had a little bit of struggle trying to get that truck slowed down and turned around before hitting that wall. Mark Culinary may have a little bit of a lead here. I am not sure. Mark Culinary struggling, nearly going into the wall as well. Aiden Wegner may have had enough time to catch up some ground. Is he going to hold it? He has the lead. Over the line we go. Yes, it is Aiden Wegner in Gravedigger. So far, the gray lane has given us our champions, our winners. Not champions, but our winners. Aiden Wegner on to round 2. Mark Culinary, another rough show in racing. He had a rough show in Baltimore as well. In the later half of the season, he just hasn't been doing too well in racing. We'll see if he can come back a little bit in the World Finals, have a decent performance, but for now, he is done. Alfredo Moya in Dragon coming out on your right. He's going to be facing off against Bryce Egan in War Machine. Bryce Egan started out the season a pretty okay racer, pretty middle of the pack. He made it up into the semifinals once. Since then, he's only been making it up into round 2. We'll see what he can do here tonight, facing off against a really solid racer, especially in the first half of the season. Multiple semifinal appearances and one final round appearance. We'll see if he can get that glory back here to close out the season. Alfredo Moya already off to a rough start there with that landing. You kind of need to land on that. Oh! Bryce Egan going over. He's back on all fours, though. Can he keep this race in check from this point on and come back from what could be a devastating roll in that second turn? I don't know if it's going to happen. Alfredo Moya already heading through this final turn to the line. Alfredo Moya in Dragon is on to round 2. Bryce Egan, we all saw it coming once he got up on 2 wheels, of course. You know, he wasn't going to make it happen, but anything could happen on this track. Anything can happen at any point on this track. Any one of these turns, you could end up upside down. Alfredo Moya could have clipped a turning obstacle or not. He didn't. It's on to round 2. We'll see what happens throughout the rest of the night. For our drivers, though, Tevin Maxwell, Team Meents, coming out on your right, taking on the other Meents chassis on this tour, Drew Austin in Bob and Tom. These two have faced off a couple of times in racing. I believe they faced off in Tampa as well. And now they're back here in the final show of the season. The Meents trucks going head-to-head here in round 1 once again. Tevin Maxwell pulling up to the line. One-time racing champion Drew Austin, a solid racer, actually. Not too bad, but can't keep this truck off the walls and off the barriers. We'll see if he can hold it steady tonight. Knock out the one-time Dubby racing champion Team Meents. Heading into that first, final turn here, technically. Drew Austin may have a little bit of a lead so far. Around the turn we go for Tevin Maxwell and Drew Austin. It's close. Tevin Maxwell, a slight lead. He's out wide through the turn. Drew Austin looking good right now. Tevin Maxwell with that typical mid-style slingshot through the turn. Comes back in the air. Tevin Maxwell and Team Meents. On to round 2 tonight. Drew Austin incredibly close to knocking out the one-time Dubby racing champion in the final show of the season. Drew Austin, hey, he's not going to make it to the World Finals, but it is what it is, man. A solid performance here in that last race for his season. Craig Parsons in Velociraptor coming out on your right. What is it? 5-time Dubby racing champion on this tour this season, holding the channel record for most consecutive racing championships in a row. That is 4 back-to-back Dubby racing championships this season. Pro Bowler 278, a one-time freestyle champion on this tour. Looking to make his debut as a Dubby racing champion, maybe? I don't know. He's not doing too well this season in the racing competition. Every show is a new show, though, so, you really never know with these races. Craig Parsons and Velociraptor coming around looking for his next racing championship. He just got one last show, and this seems to be a relatively straightforward race for Craig Parsons here in round 1. Nicely done from Pro Bowler, keeping that truck nice and controlled, making quick work of that turn down at the bottom of the track. Craig Parsons a little bobble there, and it's actually pretty close around the final turn. Pro Bowler 278 comes to the line in the lead. He is on to round 2, knocking out the 5-time Dubby racing champion Predator. On to round 2 tonight. Oh my goodness. And it's not so much that he's on to round 2. We've seen him in round 2 before. Not consistently, but we have seen him there before. But knocking out Craig Parsons is the big move here. Upset here in round 1, major upset. Chad Tingler in Venom coming out next, taking on Kathy Winston in Team Suzuki. Both of these drivers have had pretty solid racing performances in the past. We've seen both of them in the semifinals before. Chad Tingler more so than Kathy Winston. We just saw Chad in the semifinals last show in Baltimore. We'll see if he can make something happen here tonight. Maybe get his first Dubby Racing Championship. We're green. Let's find out if he can make it past Kathy Winston here in round 1. Beautiful landing from Chad Tingler on the oversection. Kathy Winston with a big slide coming out of that turn. Can't get that truck straightened out. We'll see if she can come back from that at all during this race. Chad Tingler not the cleanest there through that turn, heading into the second lap. Through the turn we go once again, down the straightaway into the final turn. Who is going to take it to the line? Oh, very close. The official call is Kathy Winston in Team Suzuki. I don't know if I could call that one with the naked eye, but Kathy Winston, Team Suzuki, on to round 2 tonight, knocking out Chad Tingler. That's going to be no semifinal round attempt for the 3-timer this season. Here comes our sub for the night. Travis Mowry in Extreme Attitude. He's going to be on your left, making his substitute debut, taking on Ewan Ford in Soldier Fortune Black Ops. We just saw Ewan Ford in Soldier Fortune Black Ops in the Dubby final round last show in Baltimore. Clipped the turning obstacle, and that ended his run right before the final jump. After he had a major lead through most of the race. Extreme Attitude, Travis Mowry, an unproven racer this season. We'll see if he can make some shake here in round 1 tonight. Launching off the starting line, he needs enough points to get into the last chance qualifier. Big slide through the turn from Travis Mowry, looking good. Looking like he might be pretty quick here so far. Great turn there to end the first lap. Ooh, this is going to be awkward here though. Rough oversection for Travis Mowry. That set him up terribly for that turn at the bottom of the track. Looks like it's all Ewan Ford right now around the final turn. Yes, Ewan Ford in Soldier Fortune Black Ops. On to round 2 tonight. I wish I could say it wasn't predictable, but I mean, hey, an unproven racer, you never really know what's going to happen. These subs do typically, a lot of the time, make it out of round 1, but taking on someone as good as Ewan Ford, you had to see it coming. Cameron Landry and Lucas Oil Crusader coming out next on your right. He's going to be facing off against Joe Dennis in Spider-Man Miles Morales. All season long, we've seen a big progression with Joe Dennis and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Came out, rolled the truck nearly every show in the first half of the season in racing. Really struggled with this truck since then. He's been gathering it up, really learning how to control this truck and how to make it work for him. Cameron Landry and Lucas Oil Crusader, relatively consistent, not the greatest racer, but in these past few shows, he's been killing it in the racing competition. Semifinals minimum. You know, I would hate to see him take a loss here in round 1 to Joe Dennis. We'll see what happens as we already see some problems from both drivers at 2 different points on the track. Joe Dennis around that turn at the bottom of the track, really not the cleanest. Looks like Cameron Landry might be having a little bit of struggles as well. It's pretty neck and neck here through the final turn, but it's going to be Joe Dennis. Spider-Man Miles Morales with the lead to the line. He is on to round 2 as Cameron Landry gets it stopped before the wall. They do shut him off there, trying to make sure everything stays safe. Cameron Landry not doing it tonight. No racing championship. He needs some points. He's right on the border of the World Finals Qualifier spot. If you are enjoying tonight's racing competition, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, let me know with a comment down below, and check out the Rorsrps Instagram for extra content. For the World Finals Hub, though, check out rorsrps.com for all things Rorsrps World Finals 2. You do not want to miss the little qualifier blurbs that we got, little information about the trucks and their racing performance throughout the season as we head into the biggest racing event of the year. Round 2 looks good, though. The Digger's facing off. Son of a Digger versus Gravedigger. Dragon is going to take on Team Meents. Predator will face off against Team Suzuki. And Soldier Fortune Black Ops is going to take on Spider-Man Miles Morales. Pretty stacked round 2 here. A great round 2 kickoff with this race right here. Josh Tonkin, Son of a Digger, on your right, taking on Aiden Wegner and Gravedigger on your left. The Digger boys faced off in the final round of the Tampa, Florida show for round 7, the Superstar Challenge in Tampa, Florida, the Fire and Ice track. Really great track, really great show, really great racing performances from these two, but it was Josh Tonkin who came out on top. Can he do it again here tonight in Kansas City? Nicely done over the over section, making it look nice and easy out here from Josh Tonkin. It looks obviously like Aiden Wegner has a lead, but this is an uneven track. The laps are uneven until you come around for that final lap. We'll see what happens here as both of the drivers looking good through that semifinal turn. Heading into the final turn, though, it's Josh Tonkin with the lead, and to the line, he is gonna hold it. Josh Tonkin and Son of a Digger takes out Aiden Wegner once again, and he is on to the semifinals tonight. The first person into the semifinals. Josh Tonkin making it look easy on this track so far. It looks like they might have shut him off as well, getting a little close to the wall there, but nonetheless, semifinals, here we come. Alfredo Moya in Dragon coming out on your right. He's going to be facing off against Tevin Maxwell in Team Meents. One-time Dubby Racing champion on your left. Dragon, Alfredo Moya, has been in the semifinals 1, 2, 3 times this season, and that's just in the first half, not so much in the second half, but he also has had an appearance in the Dubby final round. He wants to make it back to the semifinals again. Can he knock out a one-time Dubby Racing champion is the question. Launching off the starting line, we'll find out. Look at the big drift from Tevin Maxwell. Alfredo Moya struggling, Tevin Maxwell struggling as well. Again, 2 different sections of the track, both drivers struggling. Big wide turn from Alfredo Moya, just trying to get through it at this point, still struggling on this track though. I'm not sure what's going on with Alfredo Moya in Dragon. A beautiful semifinal turn though. I don't think it's gonna matter. Tevin Maxwell, a big lead on Alfredo Moya, and yes, Tevin Maxwell in Team Meents, our second World Finals qualifier of this tour, will be moving on to the semifinals to face off against Josh Tonkin. The 1 and 2 spots facing off in the semifinals to kick it off as well. Very interesting first race of the semifinals. Let's check out this one here. Predator, Pro Bowler 278, gonna be on your right, taking on Kathy Winston in Team Suzuki. What about this for a classic matchup here? Predator taking on Team Suzuki. We haven't seen either one of these trucks in the World Finals in a very long time. Obviously, Team Suzuki is decommissioned at this point in the real world, but we brought her back around for this season. She's doing pretty well. She's very close to a World Finals qualifier spot. Can she get it tonight by taking a racing championship, earning some extra points? We'll find out here in round 2 as we launch off the starting line. Who's going to take it to the finish? For our first turn, Kathy Winston looking good. Pro Bowler 278 stuck to the ground yet again, making quick work of that turn directly after the landing ramp in the over section. Kathy Winston a little bobble over the racing lane, but heading through the turn once again, it's looking good for both of these drivers. Kathy Winston maybe a slight lead. No, Pro Bowler 278 a slight lead, getting hiked up just a little bit. Very close race to the line, but it's going to be Pro Bowler 278 in Predator making it to the semifinals for the first time this season. Wow, what a way to close out the season, making it your best racing performance of the season already into the semifinals. This is going to be a decision maker here, though, I believe. Joe Dennis, Spider-Man Miles Morales taking on Ewan Ford in Soldier Fortune Black Ops. I hate to say it, man, you can't count anyone out. Like I say all the time, every show is a new show. Anything could happen. Based on what we've seen so far this season, though, if Ewan Ford makes it to the semifinals, I think Pro Bowler is going to be done. Joe Dennis, if he makes it to the semifinals, Pro Bowler may have a shot. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen if Joe Dennis goes, but we're green. We're going to find out who's going to go. Again, I think it's going to be Ewan Ford, Soldier Fortune Black Ops through this first turn. Joe Dennis looking nice and clean, looking quick through that first turn. Through the racing lane for Joe Dennis. How is he going to handle this one here? Looking good, but he's going to oversteer big time from Joe Dennis in Spider-Man Miles Morales. That is all Ewan Ford and Soldier Fortune Black Ops to the finish line. Soldier Fortune onto the semifinals yet again. This is the second show in a row that he's made it up into the semifinals. He wants to see the final round again. He wants another shot at that racing title. He's come close twice this season, both times losing to Craig Parsons and Velociraptor. There's no Velociraptor in the semifinals tonight. Son of a Digger is going to be taking on Tevin, Maxwell, and Team Meents. Then we got Predator facing off against Soldier Fortune Black Ops. Very interesting semifinal round. Josh Tonkin, Son of a Digger, on your right, looking to close out the season with Racing Championship number 4. Tevin, Maxwell, and Team Meents looking to close out the season with Racing Championship number 2. Can he get it? By first knocking out the tour leader, the first World Finals qualifier of this tour, the potential tour champion, Josh Tonkin. We're green and heading over the racing lane for the first time. Again, a beautiful landing from Josh Tonkin, expertly going over that overjump. What's next? Tevin Maxwell, a little sloppy there. That may slow him down a little bit. Josh Tonkin through the semi-final turn. Slowing down, it looked like. Oh, Josh Tonkin clips a turning obstacle. It's Tevin Maxwell to the finish line. A great save from Josh Tonkin, but that is not going to save his racing performance in this race. Josh Tonkin in Son of a Digger is done. Here in the semi-finals, Tevin Maxwell in Team Meents is on to the Dubby final round, looking for Racing Championship number 2. Can he get it tonight? Seems to be on a rail on this track. Not very many mistakes. We saw one this round, but I haven't seen any other rounds. Pro Bowler 278 in Predator. On your right, he's going to be facing off against Ewan Ford in Soldier Fortune Black Ops. Again, my call last round was Ewan Ford knocking out Pro Bowler 278. He seems to be on a hot streak with this track. You cannot deny that. Pro Bowler is killing it right now. But the history behind Ewan Ford, I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I think Ewan Ford has this one in the bag, but anything could happen here. Great first turn from Ewan Ford. Soldier Fortune Black Ops looking clean. Pro Bowler 278 mint on that landing to turn. Beautifully done. And heading into this final lap, it's looking about even. I think maybe Soldier Fortune Black Ops. Pro Bowler, no, Pro Bowler a little lead here. Soldier Fortune a little too long in the turn. It's Pro Bowler 278 in Predator. On to the Dubby final round for the first time this season. I think I said Pro Bowler taking too long. I meant Ewan Ford taking a little too long. Soldier Fortune Black Ops done. Here in the semifinals, your Dubby final round is Team Meents taking on Predator again with these classic races. Predator taking on Team Meents to close out the racing competition. Wow. Here they come. Tevin Maxwell on your right. Team Meents. Pro Bowler 278 on your left in Predator. And I am hyped and amped. And if you want to get amped like this on a day-to-day, you can check out Dubby Energy. Dubby gives you focus and energy without the jitters or crash. They have a whole bunch of zeros backing up their brand. 0 sugar, 0 fillers, 0 artificial dyes, and 0 calories. So they are the health-conscious brand when it comes to energy. Check them out, guys. They're absolutely delicious. My flavor of the day is sour gummy bears. I know I say it's not my favorite flavor, but I still got a tub of it, and it still works. It's still the same Dubby Energy every time, and it is pretty solid. It's a decent flavor. It's just not my top flavor, and it's working today, guys. It is working. Dubby Energy. Check them out at dubby.gg and get 10% off using code RORSRPS at checkout. A lot of their flavors are absolutely delicious. My favorite, Calio Cream, Mango Orange Cream. Super delicious, guys. Check it out. But your Dubby final round is here, ready to go. We are staged in green and launching over the jump for the first time. Will it be the one-time Dubby Racing Champion or the one-time Dubby Freestyle Champion? Around the turn we go for both of these drivers. It looks like Pro Bowler 278 making quick work of this track yet again. A beautiful landing straight into that turn. And it looks like Pro Bowler may have a lead here. He does, heading into this final turn. It is very close. Could go either way, but it's Tevin, Maxwell, and Team Meents by about a half a tire. Tevin Maxwell gets Dubby Racing Championship number 2 to close out the season. Beautifully done. What a night of competition here in Kansas City. Arrowhead Stadium definitely got a show with this track, with these drivers, with this racing competition. And Tevin Maxwell's gonna go for a backflip in celebration, closing out the season with the final racing championship for this tour. And he's gonna bring it right up on top of the step up, show off this body to the fans one last time before it no longer exists due to the freestyle competition. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. What a night. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the racing competition. Let's take a look at the points here. Son of a Digger still in the lead, 174. Tevin Maxwell, 161. Mark Culinary, 131. Then it's Ewan Ford with 129, taking that 4th place spot. Aiden Wegner with 128. Alfredo Moya with 127. Cameron Landry ends up with 118. And Kathy Winston closes out racing with 116. Then we got Craig Parsons with 113. Chad Tingler with 98. Pro Bowler 278 with 89. Joe Dennis ends up with 83 to close out the racing competition. And then we got Bryce Egan and War Machine also with 83, looking to break the tie in freestyle. Drew Austin with 82, Noah Brady with 47, and Travis Mowry, not the best start we've seen all season, but a start nonetheless. 2 points heading into the freestyle competition. Can he make it up into the last chance qualifier is the question on his mind. But if you guys enjoyed tonight's racing, be sure to leave a like and leave a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe. We got new episodes just like this one every Saturday, but the season's almost over. Oh no. World Finals is coming up November 29th through December 1st. Subscribe, stick around for that. Let me know if you want another season by the end of this one. But head over to the RORSRPS Instagram for all kinds of extra content over there, and check out the World Finals Hub on RORSRPS.com. We also have some merch over there. Be sure to check it out. Speaking of checking things out, check out the channel partner Dubby and use code RORSRPS at checkout to get 10% off your purchase. They are absolutely delicious, guys. You do not want to miss their flavors, and they're limited time flavors. Right now they have purple dub sauce and Grandpa's denture water, which they both, the actual flavors sound delicious. Those are passion fruit and a mango pitaya flavor, and they sound absolutely delicious. I haven't tried them myself, but they're limited time. You do not want to miss them. Check them out. Code RORSRPS, 10% off at dubby.gg. Do not miss those limited time flavors, but stick around. Don't miss Freestyle coming at you in just a minute. Click the end card. I'll see you there.